So Japan is one of those first world countries that is going through a very serious problem here, and the problem is population collapse. This has been instituted by how their society has changed a lot. They've been very westernized, and lesser men and women having relationships and sex. And there's a lot of other things that are coming in to replace those. So on this video that I found to be very interesting, that mentions love, lust, and loneliness in Japan. So there is a sexless epidemic in Japan, and this is in the interest of showing you that a lot of these ideas have gone across the globe, and what maybe things are experiencing in the West is also in the East, in Africa, everywhere. Things are really going that direction. So this is really, as usual, a learning process, and also it will help us to think through things, and as I give you my narrative. So let's get on with it.
Japan, a leading economy in Asia, is renowned for its cutting-edge technology, strong societal discipline, and the legality and openness of its sex industry.
This is something I found that was so odd. The fact that they seem to live like a very conservative life, but when it comes to sex, there's a lot of weird proclivities they have, if I may call it that. So I hope they show it in this video. So let's continue, but I've just found that a bit odd.
Despite this openness, though, the younger generation is experiencing a decline in relationships, with over 40% having never engaged in sexual activity with another.
Oh, wow.
Therefore, the birth rate is plummeting, and businesses offering substitutes for human relationships are on the rise. So, what has led to these changes in Japan's society? Japan became a fully aging society in 2010, boasting the highest proportion of elderly individuals globally.
And you see, this is one of the outcomes of having a high trust, high productive society, which has high discipline. People get to grow really old, their diet, the way they live, the family and whatnot. So a lot of people, a lot of Japanese are growing to be very old. So they are transitioning out of work and probably living another 30, 40, 50 years. So it's one of those things. So the thing is, this is the natural consequence of modernity and having a very productive society. It's just natural.
Longer life expectancies and an exceptionally low birth rate.
It's ridiculous.
A significant challenge that requires solutions from both the national government and local authorities. Several policies have been implemented to encourage and promote childbearing, but they've proven to be largely ineffective. In a country with a flourishing pornography industry and widespread availability of adult content, the younger generation shows indifference towards marriage and sex. Furthermore, some individuals are steering their relationships towards alternative directions and formats, which don't necessarily involve having children. Kisaburo Nakamura, a 19-year-old Japanese student, graciously invites us to his rented apartment. Despite its modest size of only 20 square meters, it is fully equipped with a bedroom.
I've found in Asia, China, Malaysia, Japan, all this, they tend, because I think there's very high concentrations of people around urban areas. They live in tiny homes, man. I've seen there's some dystopian homes in China, like really tiny homes where you live basically next to your bed, which you have to fold up during the day and then fold down during the night. It's just one of the, and I've seen those blocks, they're so huge. They remind me of the dystopian movies, 100%. I wouldn't want to live there. Let's be honest.
Living room, kitchen, and bathroom.
This home is very compact.
Yeah, it's enough size to live alone.
By compact, it means very small. That's the politically correct way of telling someone, man, you live in a little cubicle.
I see.
When he's not studying or working part-time, Kisaburo typically spends his time here. One of his favorite activities is making fruit and vegetable smoothies.
Where did you learn to make smoothie?
On the internet. So
Of course.
living alone,
Hmm.
maybe wait, その不足するなんて言うんだろう shortage of mineral.
So besides smoothie, do you also cook?
No. First I tried to make my own meal,
Mm-hmm.
but it's cost me, so I やめた
Bye.
So living alone, for most men, actually, I've noticed many men have actually decided to, even if you're living in a small place by yourself, it's fine when you do everything by yourself. Especially looking at how tedious and how really exhausting it is to date these days because of the quality of women. And this is even in Japan. That men have just said, let me just make my little money and just take care of myself, and I live and do what I want. This is actually a very sad thing, because if men check out of anything, it basically goes to hell. That's been standard throughout history. So when you find men are not interested in dating so much, they're just happy, they can just do their job, go to college, come back, do their smoothie, order takeout, and continue living. They don't have to come to a shouting, moody person in the house who thinks that you're not good enough or ABCD, which, sometimes that kind of person can help you improve, especially if they have your best interests at heart. But these days, it's unreasonable, because a guy like this probably is 19, 20. The women that he should be dating expect him to be rich already, when he has nothing. He's trying to build something. So he wouldn't be able to date women his age, because they want more than he can actually practically get. Young people, the thing that's constant is that most young people are broke. It's not because of what? It's because they have not done anything or built up the equity to be able to say, I've worked for 10, 20 years, I earned this much, invested this. They have not done that yet. So expecting a young man to give you the same level of provision that, say, a 40-year-old man would do, it's irrational. And that's why dating is failing. Because now a woman is saying she wouldn't settle for less than a guy who makes 100K, but at the same time, she's 22, and the men she wants are in their 40s, 50s. Those are the people who can afford you, and the young men simply are locked out of all of it.
And
Give up?
so I gave up.
Another of Kisaburo's leisure activities is watching videos on YouTube. Kisaburo was born and raised in Hiroshima before moving to Tokyo to study.
And you see, it can be seen in probably men have taken up their hobbies, video games, sports, whatnot. And that is more important to them, and the interaction they have with their friends through that, than trying to have a serious relationship with a woman. That's what has replaced relationship in most of these urban first world countries, especially.
He shared his experiences in Hiroshima, where he frequently went fishing with his grandfather. Finding opportunities to go fishing in Tokyo has, however, proved to be difficult for him. Kisaburo often dims the lights and immerses himself in watching fishing shows on YouTube. He finds it to be a reasonable substitute for the activity he loves. As we become more familiar with each other, Kisaburo reveals that he recently broke up with his girlfriend, and that being alone is what he wants, at least until he graduates from university.
This is by the time he's graduated and walking into the job market, Now he's meeting women in that level who want the managers and the CEO. So the bar is always pushed up, but it's because even just ordinary women want those guys. They are not rational anymore. So you can't really, because I don't argue about what women want. I just act accordingly. Oh, that's what you want? Okay, I can't provide. I'm on my way. I can't provide that you want so much. I can't take you for holidays all the time. I can't buy you expensive bags and whatever other mundane nonsense that you want. I can't text you good morning every day because I don't do that. Because I think it's too needy to always need somebody to affirm to you how much they love you and want you and what. I just find that to be, I'm sorry, I just find that to be cringy to me. I find it too needy and I just don't want to do it. So this guy is broken up and say, hey, me, I'm good, man. He's here living in his little tiny apartment and he's good. No stress.
He expresses his desire to enjoy university life to the full, though he admits that having a girlfriend to spend time with on Valentine's Day would be nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of like just a weekend. That's what I'm saying. Just, you don't need a girlfriend to do that. Just get a friends with benefit or purchase. Japan, you're good at purchasing. Do that.
High school, he used to wish for one, but now that he's started working part-time, he values having money to spend on himself instead.
That's what I told you.
He believes he doesn't necessarily need a girlfriend.
He doesn't. You're too young.
Being alone.
Mm-hmm.
If such a response came from a middle-aged person who has experienced relationships over several decades, it wouldn't raise any questions. When, however, it's the response of a 19-year-old boy, an age typically characterized by raging hormones, it surprises us considerably.
It shouldn't surprise you because that's how insufferable relationships have become. That even men who have hormones basically pushing them to chase women all the time. I said, I'm good. I'd rather use this testosterone for something else. Maybe my hobbies or something else. It shouldn't shock you. It should show you just how far you've fallen.
Yuki Sasaki, an office worker in Tokyo, is responsible for coordinating Japan-US cultural exchange programs. Given the time difference of up to 13 hours between the two countries, flexible working hours are common practice in her job.
I think compared to regular Japanese women or regular Japanese corporate world, actually, since our organization is US-based, our schedule is a little more easygoing, I would say, since sometimes we have to work over the weekends. In that case, we take a little day off, since we did not have any day off, such and such. So we do not have we have to work Monday through Friday and Saturday, Sunday off, something like that. We're not we are pretty easygoing, and then whenever we need day off, we do take day off, and when we have to work, we do. Yeah, so we try to adjust.
This, though, was nothing compared to the Japanese work culture she had experienced.
In my previous work, there weren't specific working time, but that was very, very Japanese organization. So since I was new, I could never ever say I want to leave, even though I had something going on my life. At least my boss or my senpai, I'm gonna say my senior, someone who is working there longer than me, at least if she or he says something, I cannot say anything, and I had to stay in my desk, and then even though I had nothing to do, I had to pretend that I'm working.
The Japanese work culture dictates that employees never leave their desks to go home before their boss, even when their own tasks have been completed. Additionally, they often work many hours of unpaid overtime per day. Socializing late into the night with bosses and co-workers is also expected, followed by returning to work punctually the next morning. This cycle repeats continuously, like buttons being pressed repeatedly. Yuki admits that she's been single for 3 years, attributing various reasons to this. These include the demanding work culture of her previous workplace, which left her with little time to socialize with friends, as well as her unsatisfactory experiences in past relationships. The primary reason, however, is her enjoyment of living life on her own terms.
I'm just enjoying my life too much, and I just don't have any space in my head to think about having a boyfriend or being in a relationship. I guess the one.
And this is the crux of it, really, because let's now break it down. Because we've watched one young man, and now a young woman who's in the workforce. They both are just saying, the hell with the relationships. First of all, from the man's side, he's responding to what she has become. She's become a feminist. She's talked about how she wants to work, and that's her priority, not family, not relationships. So already the feminist mindset has taken over. So she cannot be what that guy or somebody in her age group wants, because the guys want families and whatnot. The Japanese work culture is very strict, and it insists on high levels of discipline. And the women in the workplace has become a big problem. And you see, when things are very stringent, they do not respond well to that. And what has happened is that now men and women in Japan have all been put in very stressful environments where they are competing against each other for the jobs and resources. And at the same time, the Western ideologies of feminism have already infected them. So it is a perfect storm of all the stressful work environment and competition, and women being fed these narratives about how they don't need men. I don't think I have any room for a man right now in my relationship. The thing is this, is because work is hard. Generally, making money is very hard. You're not going to have time for other things that are more important or equally as important as family. So in her case, this woman here, she's going to get to her 30s and then it will explode. Now she wants it right now. Probably she's climbed the social ladder, the economic ladder, to a point where most men can't afford her. Or at least she won't want most men because they earn less than her. So what has happened is right now is that we have these two societies across the world that have been infected by what I call Western feminism, by this what you call woke ideology everywhere. So people are starting to feel entitled to things they have not earned. And then the society has changed so much that men and women both need to work quite hard to be able to meet the expenses. So because what happened is that when women came into the workforce, they flooded the market, supply and demand. Supply was too high for the supply of workers was higher than the jobs. So as it is right now, if there are too many people chasing one thing, the value increases. When there are very few people chasing something, the value decreases. We know this, supply and demand. So as it is right now, Japan cannot replace its own population, the oldest population in the world. And now they've actually started to make changes, giving incentives like government, tax breaks, and maybe even just a lump sum paid to you if you get married or have children. It's been tried. There are many ways about it. But really, how they change this is that they have to drop the feminism. There has to be incessant propaganda for marriages and such like institutions. Okay, it's just marriage anyway. But also at the same time, try and, because the problem is, as long as men are not able to earn enough to take care of their families, the problem would be changed. So there has to be a considerable change back to a meritocracy where people earn. And then, of course, the greed has to reduce. There's just so many things that are required for this to actually change. But one of the main things is the propaganda for marriages to increase, and the incentives to be married and having children must also increase. At the same time, you have to keep out the harmful ideas, or at least you have to do your best to counter them with counter narratives that are strong or as powerful. And I don't know what you guys think about this. I know the West is also suffering this population collapse. It's not as bad as Japan yet, but it's going there. And I believe that they're suffering this because of the same ideology, which is feminism. Yes, I'm laying it down at the feet of feminism, and I'm not saying it's women's fault, because who instituted feminism? It's us men. If you do a little research into the suffragette era and whatnot, you'd find it's men actually who made sure that these laws were passed and whatnot, and all this egalitarian movement. That's what happened. It's us who pushed it, and now we are paying for it. Because we didn't want to be seen to be anti-woman or having or being anti-ABCD or being seen as backward. You see, every time you hear feminists talk, or is it the 1970s? Is it the 1950s? It's because they're trying to shame you into saying, oh, actually in the 50s there are things that were working very well, and that's how you got to the position that you are right now, to be arrogant and hate the very thing that has made you relevant, which is family. Eventually, what you are right now is just another drone in a cog. As men, you're just happy to be there, to build. We love doing that. But now you've joined in, you're just a cog who can be dismissed at 35 as a single mother. And you can go cry about how they are no good men because you spent all your best years trying to be a corporate boss bee. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, in the West especially. What you guys think? Are you guys going to recover from this? Are you going to recover from the crashing birth rates? Is this why they're allowing so many people to illegally immigrate to your countries to replace a population that is simply not replacing itself? Is this part of the reason that labor is in short, cheap labor is in short supply? So they are flooding you with this because you are not giving birth, you're not replicating yourself, you don't have the population to do the jobs. Is that what's going on? Please leave a comment down below on the same, like the video, share the video, and of course subscribe to the channel, clicking that notification bell. And until next time, peace.